Welcome back to At the Buzzer. I'm your host, Andrew Loveliner, joined alongside my co-hosts, Dean McCullum, Tyler Fattel, and Campbell Klein. And today we're going to be talking about some of the surprises and some players and how they performed in the NBA Summer League. So a player that I think is worth talking about is the leading scorer, Cam Thomas. He did average 27 points, although he might not do it in the NBA. What do you guys think of Cam Thomas's performance over the Summer League?
Well, obviously, if you score 27 points in the summer league, you have to be a decent NBA player in my eyes, because you're not going to put up that many points in a league where there are young and promising players playing. So I feel like Cam Thomas can definitely have a role on the Nets this upcoming season. Obviously, he won't start because Kyrie Irving and James Harden are there, and he won't get very many minutes because Kyrie and James Harden are there. So when you think about it, he's not, I think max he'll get 15, 20 minutes a game. I don't see him getting any more. I think there's a likely chance he gets less. But I really like what I've seen from him. I feel like if the Nets look to add potentially another veteran piece for their title chances this year, he might be someone that gets traded because he doesn't have that big of a role on this team right now because they have two superstars in front of him. So I definitely think that he can help the Nets if they give him a role on the team. If he plays a good bench role, if he potentially plays like the seventh or eighth person off, like coming off the bench, like the seventh person on the team. But right now, although he played really well in the summer league, I don't really know what the Nets are going to do with him.
Yeah, Cam Thomas has been going off the summer league because he's averaging around almost 30 points per game. But like Tyler said, he's not really going to get that many minutes on a contending Nets team. Although my reactions to the pick, I was very jealous that the Nets got him because I knew like that the Nets knew what they were getting from him coming out of LSU, and that was just 3-point shooting, lights out 3-point shooting. And he's just definitely proved that because he's averaging around 30 points per game in the summer league on very good efficiency, like NBA, above average NBA player efficiency, which is really good to see for the Nets. So I think that since the Nets are probably will coming into the season have the highest odds to win the NBA championship, even though they're not going to, I think that Cam Thomas can definitely help them out because 3-point shooting is so important, especially off the bench. You see guys like Jay Crowder, although he doesn't only shoot and he's more known for his defense and shooting, I'd say. 3-point shooting, especially off the bench in tight situations, if you're contending for a championship or contending in a playoff series, that's very important. So Cam Thomas is definitely going to bring that very important aspect to the Brooklyn Nets for this upcoming season.
Yeah, like you guys said, Cam Thomas's 27 points is impressive and all, but on a Nets team full of superstars, he's not going to be getting 20 shots a game. He's not going to be getting anywhere near 20 shots a game. So, yeah, he was promising in this summer league, and he could definitely be a piece that they could move around at some point. But I don't think he's going to play a huge role on this team next year.
They do thrive with their shooting, though. That's a thing. Like the Nets shooting is what makes them, what will probably make them a really good team. Besides their superstar talent. So if they want to use that to their advantage and give Cam Thomas a bigger role than we're expecting him to have, I wouldn't be that surprised. Because like Dean talked about, he's a really, really good shooter coming out of LSU. So yeah.
All right, yeah. Well, we'll see how he finds his way in the rotation. But now I want to, I guess, like ask you guys a question. So the number one overall pick, Cade Cunningham, and the number two overall pick, Jalen Green. They didn't play all the summer league games, but they each played really well in all their summer league games. They had a head-to-head battle that was pretty interesting to watch. So there's a lot of stuff online. Some people think Jalen Green's better. Some people think Cade has more potential. So what do you guys think about who's going to be the better NBA player this season and maybe in the future?
I think that everyone who's saying that Jalen Green is better, I mean, I'm a huge Jalen Green fan. I think he's going to be really, really good. But all I'm seeing in the comment sections of any Jalen Green or Cade Cunningham post is Jalen over Cade. And I think that's kind of ridiculous since Jalen slightly outplayed Cade in the one game that they played versus each other. But I still like Cade better coming into this next season. I think Jalen Green's efficiency is sort of going to slow him down, although he's proved that might not because, I mean, it's just a summer league at the end of the day. But I think that Cade Cunningham, he's just going to have a more impactful role on his team because, I mean, at the end of the day, he was drafted number one for a reason. Jalen Green was drafted number 2 for a reason. I'm just gonna say Cade's just gonna be better than him. I don't really think there's much up for debate. I don't think much has really changed in the summer league as where it was during the draft process. Cade was the number 1 pick for one reason, and that's because he's the best player in this class, and I think it still stayed that way.
Well, obviously, yeah, like you said, Cade went 1 for a reason. He's a franchise player, obviously, but your argument about efficiency, according to the stats, makes no sense. Jalen Green field goal percentage was 51, while Cade Cunningham's was only 42, 43. So in my eyes, if we're talking about efficiency, Jalen Green was better in the summer league overall in my eyes because he put up more points per game. He put up 2 more points per game. He shot 2% better than Cade from 3-point range, which obviously isn't that big, but he shot overall like 9% better with field goal percentage than Cade in the summer league. And Cade put up more shots, I think, but still, Jalen Green overall was better in the summer league. Still, I think Cade Cunningham is obviously a really, really good talent. I think his fit with the Pistons will be interesting because they have some other pieces that can help him out, like Killian Hayes and Sadiq Bey. But I think in this rookie season, I think Jalen Green's going to have a better season, personally. I feel like his talent is just going to allow him more, he's going to be more free on the Rockets. They don't have as many pieces that can score as I think that the Pistons do because all they have is KPJ and Christian Wood, really. I mean, if you consider John Wall, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, Killian Hayes.
I think the Rockets probably have better players.
They definitely do.
I feel like the
scoring more than 12
points
a game. And same with Sadiq Bey, most likely.
Well, yeah, your argument about...
I think where Dean is coming from is that, like, Jalen Green's just going to put up, like, since he's on the Rockets, he'll put up, like, 20 shots a game. And it's
and his efficiency's not going to be as good because he's going to score a lot more points.
The reason why he's shooting 50% right now is because it's summer league. So, like, he's not being guarded by, like, NBA defenses.
Yeah, the sample size is like 3 games. Him shooting 50% doesn't mean a ton over.
I know, but Jalen Green he played 3 less minutes per game than Cade Cunningham and still scored 2 more points and had way better efficiency, which I guess kind of makes sense. But still, I just, that argument about Jalen Green's efficiency going into next season, I just don't see any proof of that because I feel like I think Cade Cunningham in the future will be better, but I feel like in this one season, Jalen Green's role on the Rockets will allow him to be more of an appealing player than Cade Cunningham's will because he'll get up more shots. He'll have more free ability. He'll be able to take the ball down the court. I think Cade will too, but I feel like there's more players on the Pistons that will have a bigger role on that team than there are on the Rockets. On the Rockets, there's KPJ and Christian Wood and maybe John Wall, but on the Pistons, I feel like there's more people than that.
I'm going to go with Cade Cunningham to be better next year. I don't think the 3 summer league games say enough or are a large enough sample size to really base anything off of them. So I'm strictly going from last year, how they played on their teams. And I just think Cade Cunningham is developed as a player light years ahead of Jalen Green. So I'm going to go with Cunningham for that reason.
This doesn't mean that, I think Jalen Green will be a better player than Cade Cunningham throughout his career. I think Cade Cunningham will be a better player. I think Cade Cunningham and Jalen Green will both be all-stars. I think Cade Cunningham will ultimately be the better player. I'm just saying this next season, I feel like Jalen Green's ability he'll have more freeness. I don't know the correct word here, but, he'll be able to run the offense more because there aren't as many young players on that Rockets team that are just able to run an offense than there are in the Pistons. I feel like Killian Hayes is going to have a bigger role than people think. People don't remember. He was the 7th pick. He was the 7th pick for a reason. So I feel like Sadiq Bey there too, Isaiah Stewart.
You're basing a lot of this off the summer league, but Killian Hayes has been awful in the summer league. And a lot of what you're saying is based off of only the summer league because Cade Cunningham.
How is it based off of only the summer league?
I think you're saying that
Tyler's argument makes sense though, because Jalen Green score.
He's going to have way less. He's going to have more opportunities.
He'll probably average more points. He might average more points than Cade Cunningham just because John Wall is probably going to miss a ton of games, and also the Rockets they have no shot at making even the play in this year. They're
going to have a larger.
But you can tell the Pistons, Dwayne Casey's actually a good coach. even though they were really bad last year. That's because like they were putting out like their own G League team in NBA, and they actually have a few good players now. And Killian, like although he hasn't been great, he's fully healthy now, so maybe that'll make a difference.
Yeah, there are more players
like
that
the
can
Pistons
do
are
more
going
on
to
the
try to win.
Pistons.
So I think Cade's numbers might be worse, but I think he's going to be like more of a winning player this year.
I agree. I think
I could see Jalen Green averaging like 16 points, but the Rockets win like 3 games, and then the Pistons will like they won't make a shot at the play-in, but they won't be like the worst team. Like
I think
like
Cade Cunningham's team will win more, but I'm saying that Jalen Green, the Rockets have less assets, they can do more. The Pistons have more young players that can actually like help them win. The Rockets don't have many players, which makes me think that Jalen Green will put up better stats and overall maybe have a better statistical season than Cade Cunningham. But that doesn't mean he has a better season with efficiency. My argument was that I think he can based on the summer league, but that I'm not saying he 100% can, because with a bigger sample size, like Campbell was saying, everything can change.
I feel like you guys are, I know this isn't really related to the summer league at this point, but I feel like you guys are underrating the Rockets right now, because I mean, they're not like, you guys are acting like they're going to be the worst team in basketball. And I think
I don't think they will be.
I mean, like, I know, but Andrew was saying that the Rockets were going to win no games this year.
No, I think they can potentially, if Jalen Green and
I think they can
end up
maybe like I
think they can potentially contend
they're not
for a play-in
sniffing
spot.
the play, and they have like
No, I think they
veteran
can.
leadership.
I think they can. I don't think they're going to, but I think they have a chance. I don't think there's
They have
chance.
They're
better than the Spurs in my opinion. They're better than the Spurs. They're better than the Thunder. They could be better than the Kings. You never know.
It's close.
It depends.
I think it's close.
They're probably
it's close.
definitively better than like 2 teams.
I think a lot of it depends on how KPJ.
I trust the Spurs more than the Rockets.
I think a lot of it depends on how KPJ
I do because of their
Jalen
coaching
Green
and also the
because
Spurs
if they fit really
players.
well and they can play a really good guard game together and just pick and pop and do all that together, I feel like they'll be
Christian Wood's
the Rockets
back. People are underrated.
The Rockets have no bench and like no
Christian Wood. But I feel like a lot of it's going to rely on how KPJ and Jalen Green play together.
They're going to put up good numbers, but they're not going to win games.
I feel like they're both decently. They both need the ball in their hands to succeed. So I'm excited to kind of see what happens with that, because they're both young, promising players. I'm a big fan of KPJ, and I think
KPJ is winning most improved.
Yeah, me and Dean agree on that. KPJ is winning most improved.
All right. So now we had a nice argument about the two number 1 and number 2 overall picks. I haven't been in a podcast in a while, so I haven't got to plug my Knicks player, so I'm just gonna do it right now. I would like to mention Miles McBride is 100% the steal of the draft. I'm not sure why he was available at 36. The Knicks should have drafted him with their first pick. He was really good this summer league, and he showed that he's really good at defense. He locked up Sharif Cooper. He made him have a stomach ache and leave the game yesterday. So what do you guys think about Miles
Sharif
McBride?
Cooper
do you guys
was
think
the steal of the draft. Sharif Cooper was the
No,
steal.
he was. Dude.
Yes, he was.
Miles
Cooper's
McBride
been
just
really,
locked him
really
up
good,
made
and he
him
was
sit
also
out.
like 15 picks lower than Miles McBride.
Yeah, Sharif Cooper went in the 50s.
Okay.
He was supposed to be a first round pick, and he went in the 50s.
I think he went 48.
He played well.
48.
So tell me,
48.
Okay,
I mean,
so Sharif Cooper. Okay, so what is he gonna do in the NBA this year? He's gonna back up Trae Young.
Yeah, he's gonna.
So he's not playing alongside Trae Young because the Hawks.
What do the Hawks need from their bench?
They're gonna trust Sharif Cooper
got
as a
backup
point
point
guard.
guard depth.
They need.
It was Lou Will last year, and Rajon Rondo.
Lou Will play shooting guard. The Hawks need a facilitator in the second.
I'm just telling you right now, if the Hawks run out their bench unit and it's Lou Williams and Sharif Cooper together, it's like literally saying you can score every time to the other team. Like that's literally what it's saying. If the other team is like a guard that can like dribble and like make a shot contested by like a 4'11" guy, it's like, yeah, you can score every time.
I mean, it's not like Trae Young's any better at defense.
The Hawks.
I'm not saying
what the Hawks need from
Trae Young and Kevin Hurt are the dynamic duo.
When Trae Young is not on the court, they need someone to play like Trae Young. When the Hawks bench unit comes out and Trae Young is not on the floor, they need someone to go out and play like Trae Young would. And that's what I think
but here's the thing.
Cooper will do.
Cooper can't shoot like Trae Young, and he's
I know, but he can
worse
facilitate like Trae Young. He can facilitate like Trae Young. That's what they need. That's what they run their offense around. They run their offense around getting Trae Young shots and having him pass the ball to open players because that's what he does.
Okay, yeah. I understand Sharif Cooper probably shouldn't have been the 48th pick, but I'm telling you, he wasn't a high pick for a reason. It's because he doesn't play defense and he doesn't shoot. So it's really hard to be like 5'11" and like not play defense or not be like consistent from three. And the reason why I'm saying Miles McBride is the steal of the draft is because he shot 50%. He played all the summer league games. So that's a bigger sample size than like 2 games. He shot like 50% from three, I'm pretty sure. And he locked up the other team's best guard in literally every game. Sharif Cooper went into yesterday's game feeling fine, and then he sat out the entire second half because he was having a cramp because Miles McBride was locking him up so badly. I'm just saying. Miles McBride.
I'm looking at the stats.
McBride is
going to
play
stats right
now.
now. Miles McBride overall played better than Sharif Cooper.
He did.
Miles McBride. They both played the same amount of minutes. Miles McBride did play 2 more minutes. I mean, 2 more games.
They both
played 27 minutes per game. Miles McBride had like 0.4 more points, and he shot way better from the field. So his efficiency is better, and his defense is better. But I feel like Sharif Cooper's fit when they need someone behind Trae Young to do what Trae Young does, I feel like that's good.
I feel like in a regular season, Sharif Cooper might have
that fit is there.
I feel like Sharif Cooper might have a few good moments in the regular season, but like he's not playing in the playoffs because like they're gonna play Lou Will and like defense matters.
Knicks might not even make the playoffs with their new additions of Miles McBride and Quentin Grimes. So
the Knicks are literally making the playoffs. I don't know what you're saying.
They're gonna have to be in the play.
You realize Miles McBride isn't touching the court, right?
He's gonna get minutes.
He's gonna get minutes, but not many. Meaning Sharif Cooper will get more minutes.
Kemba Walker
and Derrick Rose.
Okay, so
Emmanuel
quickly.
I mean, where's he getting the minutes?
No. Listen. Derrick Rose and Kemba Walker are probably like, if you had to put the weakest 4 knees together, like in the entire NBA,
that doesn't mean
right there.
For all Knicks fans out here,
player of all time.
For all Knicks fans out here, a fellow Knicks fan is betting on your 2 better guards to get hurt. So
no, they're not going to get hurt. Minutes. They're just going to sit out. They're going to load manage. They're just going to load manage like LeBron and Anthony Davis are going to load manage this season. They're going to load manage.
Everyone they can.
So then quickly steps in. I think Sharif Cooper has a bigger role than Miles McBride. I think Sharif Cooper has a bigger role.
Quickly is going to play next. Quickly is going to play the 2, but then when Derrick Rose sits out, and then like when Kemba sits out, then he'll play point guard. Deuce McBride can play point, or he could play shooting guard.
Okay, I think we've gone a little off topic here. Also, it's not a Knicks depth chart.
Yeah,
we should move on.
The Knicks are going to be good this year, so it's okay.
I'm going to predict Miles McBride averages no more than 7 points per game next year.
Miles McBride, he's not going to like
6 points per game.
I'm at 4.
He's not going to.
You might have
if they don't load manage, he's not going to get any minutes. No, if they don't load manage, he's not getting any minutes. That's the problem.
They're going to load manage Kemba 100%.
Yeah, but still, I mean, Derrick Rose is in front of him. Emmanuel Quickly's in front of him.
So then there needs another bench. There needs to be one more bench guard. Deuce, he's right there.
Quentin Grimes. You picked him above Miles McBride.
Yeah, okay, but Miles McBride is better. And he plays defense.
Quentin Grimes better for playoff basketball, though.
Quentin Grimes was insane. Quentin Grimes was insane on the defensive end for Houston. That was why he was. That's like the main reason why he was picked.
No, the main reason
it was because of his shooting, but still, he's still good at defense.
I know, but they always
Miles McBride's
at Houston. They always put him on the number 1 player because he was good at defense.
I'm not saying Miles McBride's gonna like make first team all rookie or like win rookie of the year, but I think he's going to be impactful player when he plays, and that's why I think he's the steal of the draft because I think like. When more rotation spots open up, like I think you could put like Sharif Cooper on like the Magic right now, and he'll like probably average like 15 and 10 and like terrible efficiency. But on a good team like the Hawks, he's gonna have no impact because he's gonna be so bad on defense.
He'll
have more impact than Miles McBride. He'll have
Miles McBride. This is the thing. The Knicks last year thrived on their defense, especially with their guards. I feel like adding Miles McBride to that pack is good. I feel like the fit is there. I feel like the fit with the Hawks and Sharif Cooper is there because I feel like other than that, Sharif Cooper doesn't shoot as well. He plays his kind of mindset as a player other than the shooting, like how he plays is a lot like Trae Young. So I feel like having
he plays like Trae Young, except he doesn't have a floater and he can't shoot. So like that's like 75% of Trae.
Hold on, Andrew. Hold on.
He runs the offense like Trae Young does.
Hold on, Andrew.
Pick and roll, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like if they need someone behind Trae Young to do what Trae Young does, Sharif Cooper is a pretty good fit. But they do need shooting. I mean, he's definitely going to have to improve his shot if he wants to play like Trae Young.
Andrew, you said Miles McBride definitely wasn't making all rookie first team, which is obvious. But you never said if he was making all rookie. Do you think he's making all rookie second team or has a chance to?
It depends on how many games he plays.
I'm putting 40 rookies above him currently. That would make it over.
There's no
I'm just saying right
There's
now.
no chance. I think you're being a little biased.
I'm just
right
saying
now, a little
in
too
terms of
biased.
in terms of all the players that were drafted like in the second round or like drafted late that played well in the summer league. I think McBride's gonna be really good because he's gonna be able to play minutes because he's good at defense and he can shoot and he can handle the ball. He can do a lot of things. He's not like insanely well at something on offense, or like he's insanely good at defense. He isn't like really good at one particular thing, but he's good at a lot of different things. So I think that's like a reason why he's a steal. And I understand why you think Sharif Cooper's good. I think he has a lot of potential.
He's
like,
also a really flashy player, which makes him, I mean.
Okay, so like he's fun to watch, but
exactly,
then like when he gets scored on every play, is he like fun to watch? And
I like Miles McBride's TikToks.
I do too. Yeah.
Okay, I have a player to talk about here really quick. He's on the Grizzlies. I don't think he'll start this year, but I think he could potentially get a bigger role on this team. It's a Desmond Bane who played only 2 games, actually, but in those 2 games, in about 30 minutes, he scored 24 points and shot 69% from 3 on about 7 attempts, which is pretty absurd. And I mean, obviously, it's the summer league, not the NBA, but still, he's a shooter. So, what do you guys think about Desmond Bane? Can he be kind of not a breakout player, but can he have a bigger role on this Grizzlies team this upcoming season? I know me and Dean like him a lot, but yeah.
I think he's nothing more than a 3-point shooter on the Grizzlies, but he will get more minutes and he'll probably be better than he was in his rookie year. But literally out of TCU last year, I wanted the Lakers to get him, but then we traded our pick for Dennis Schroeder. But he's literally just a lights out shooter. And when you're playing against people, like 90% of people who won't even be in the NBA next year, and with that defense, and you're a second-year player, you're expected to play well too. I'm not really surprised. I'm surprised by the high 3-point percentage, like that high of him shooting that well from 3, but him averaging 24 in the summer league, he should be doing that because he was a first-round pick last year. So, I mean, if you're a sophomore player, you should be one of the better players in the summer league in your second year.
I do not think Desmond Bane is going to have any sort of breakout year. Once again, I just think 2 games in the summer league against, as Dean said, most of these guys' names we've never heard of, and they won't be in the league a year from now. Like, he went 9 for 13 from 3 over a 2-game stretch. Yeah, that's really good, but like, I mean, you play enough games and at some point you'll have a hot streak like that. So 2 games of good shooting, I don't think that can determine that he's going to have an absolute breakout year and be like some important piece on this Grizzlies team. So I think he's just going to, go on his regular projection, if you will.
I think he definitely has a bigger role. I feel like the Grizzlies are kind of getting into the stretch where they're young enough to still be a team up and coming, but they're getting to the stage where they can be contenders. But obviously not this season, obviously not next season, but they're getting close to becoming a certified playoff team in my eyes, because I feel like John Morant's going to be good. Jaren Jackson's getting close to his prime. And then a couple other, I think Jaren Jackson 1 or 2 years away from his prime. But I feel like that 1-2 punch is pretty decent. And then they have a decent surrounding squad in Kyle Anderson, now Steven Adams, Desmond Bane. They drafted Zaire Williams, right? No.
Almost,
is he on the Pelicans?
Yes, yeah. Almost the reach of the draft. That was a horrible pick.
I mean, there's really like
I think he has a lot of potential, but I think he's
I don't think he's going to be very good.
I think he has a
but
pretty low
I think Desmond Bane's fit on the Grizzlies is good because they can use some shooting. John Morant, obviously decent shooter, not the greatest shooter. So having someone alongside Ja to kind of have that option where he's like a knockdown shooter is definitely very helpful. I feel like his Desmond Bane's role on a team like the Grizzlies in a couple of years could be that of like Joe Harris, who's been like a knockdown shooter for the Nets. But yeah, Desmond Bane I think is a little more upside than that. But yeah,
I think that I was about to say I think Desmond Bane's like Joe Harris type player, but he also is like not that Joe Harris is bad at defense, but I think Desmond Bane's like a pretty good defender. And so like I don't think he's gonna like handle the ball very much, especially with John Morant on his team. Like he's not gonna be like running the offense, but I think he'll probably play more minutes this year than he did last year, maybe a slight increase. I think he'll probably end up being like their sixth man, which was what he was at the end of last season. So I don't think his role is changing, but I could definitely see him averaging more minutes because he can really shoot. And like shooting is insanely valuable. And if he continues to shoot this well, he'll probably get a big contract in a few years.
I want to bring up one player because his name is a little more relevant now that someone on his team, same position, just got traded. I know you guys probably don't really know much about him, and he was labeled as a bum for the last, 2 years? He was in Zion's class. Jalen Noel of the Minnesota Timberwolves. I watched one Timberwolves Summer League game, and he went off. So Jarrett Culver just got traded today. I'm just going to say Jarrett Culver sucks. He's a bust. So I'm glad they traded him.
Wait, he got traded to
for
who?
Patrick Beverly.
He was in the Beverly trade.
Beverly got traded again. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
To the Timberwolves?
Yeah, that's a really good pickup for the Timberwolves, in my opinion. But Jalen Noel, what do you guys think about his role?
It's a good pickup to be like the 12th seed in the West.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about
Jalen Noel? Nothing makes me happier than seeing Patrick Beverly get traded to the Timberwolves. That's just incredible.
Dude, he posted on Twitter, grit and grind, let's go, 2 hours ago.
What do you guys think of Jalen Noel's role next year?
I know almost nothing about Jalen Noel, but if he's going to have a role on a pretty terrible team, which it's actually might not be that bad of a team this year, because if they're healthy, they have D'Lo, Anthony Edwards, and Karl Anthony Towns. But if he can just complement those three players and be a decent shooter, because I'm pretty sure he's a decent shooter, then I think he can be fine. But I don't really know much about him.
I think Jalen Noel is I watched him play. He doesn't really look very skilled. I think he's just a really good athlete that is a nice jumper. But I watched him play last year in some garbage time minutes against the Knicks, and he was not looking too good. So I think maybe he'll lead the Timberwolves to at best the last play-in spot. But I don't think he's playing a big role on a good team.
It changed, man, since garbage time last year.
At best, the last play-in spot. No, I think they can be a 7 or 8
Tyler,
seed.
there's
no
zero,
way
there's
there's
zero
7 or 8
chance.
seed.
There's zero
Dude,
There's no
if
way.
you have 3 decent all-star caliber players, you can be a 7 or an 8 seed.
Who are
Don't
their
they still have
all-stars
Rubio?
outside of
Wait,
Cat?
did they
Who are their
trade
all-stars outside of Cat? Tell me who are their all-stars.
No one.
D'Lo and
Anthony Edwards puts up fake stats. He doesn't win for a reason.
Okay, that's
D'Lo's
not true.
also
Still, he's not an
D'Lo's
all-star.
overrated. D'Lo's so overrated.
They have
Bro,
Patrick
he's
Beverly now,
fine.
who's going to help him out with their defense.
But I don't even know.
They have
Actually,
way too many
the
guys.
fact
They have
that I
Malik
literally
Beasley,
can't name
too.
another player on their roster currently means that they're not a playoff team. I was thinking that
I
if
think
they
they
have
might
a
trade
decent
Pat
big
Bev.
three, then they can be a playoff
Why would
team.
they trade Pat
Now that
Bev?
I realize
Well,
that
if
I
they
can't name
actually
another
think
player
if
other
they
than that big three, that's a problem.
Jalen Noel's
They
not a
actually
point guard,
think-
though.
I know, but if they actually Patrick Bev's not a point guard either. I think we just saw
Patrick
that.
Beverly, yeah, he is.
He's not a point guard.
Well, he can guard a bunch of other positions, but he's a point
Well, he can
guard.
guard a point guard, but he can't play.
Search
point
Patrick
guard.
Beverly up right now. He's a point guard. On
You know, it
ESPN.
says point guard, but is he a good point guard?
Like
no.
6'1". Of course,
He's a good
point
backup.
guard.
He's a good
He's
backup.
not
No.
a facilitator, but he's a point guard.
I'm talking about his play style. He's a 3-and-D player, but because he's 6'1", he's labeled as a point guard. But he's not a point guard. That's why the Clippers just traded him, because they need a point guard to run their offense.
Eric
Yeah,
Bledsoe's
why
not
that's
Patrick
exactly
Beverly's
why
not
they
on the
traded
team.
him.
Beverly.
Rondo,
literally what I just said.
Rondo can't shoot, and that's what they. I mean, Eric Bledsoe can't really shoot, but
They're
Rondo
gonna
and
sign- they're
Pat
gonna
Bev
trade
couldn't
someone
be
else.
as good as Pat Bev and Rondo couldn't be as good of facilitators as Eric Bledsoe.
Rondo? Are you kidding me? Rondo's so much better.
He wasn't
Rondo's
playing
just
very
too
much.
old.
Bledsoe.
He wasn't
Eric
playing.
Bledsoe
No, but-
sucked.
Back to what I was saying about the Timberwolves, they have they have a ton of guards. Jalen Noel, Anthony Edwards, Malik Beasley just got out of jail. D'Angelo Russell.
He was never in jail.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. He was facing jail time, but he was never in jail.
I swear to God, I just saw something that said he just got out of 78 days in jail.
Someone was probably just joking on Twitter. He was never.
All
in
right,
jail.
I'll
it's
send it
not
to you
the
later.
point. It's
What
not
I'm
the
saying is,
point.
I think Patrick Beverley is going to get traded again to a mid-season, a contender will trade a second round pick.
Well, maybe like Rajon Rondo was, but still.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, Rondo obviously can be a facilitator. He wasn't playing very much, and they needed someone that could play more and be more of a facilitator than Pat Bev was. So I feel like that's where Eric Bledsoe comes into play. One more player I want to bring up, Tyrese Maxey on the Sixers. People still think Ben Simmons is going to get traded. He has apparently no contact with the Sixers, which makes me think that they're that organization and him are not having very good relationship right now. They're not in a very good relationship. So I feel like Tyrese Maxey's going to have a bigger role next season. Even if Ben Simmons isn't traded, I feel like he can definitely play more. And I like Tyrese Maxey. I think he's a decent defender. He can be why can't I say this word today? Facilitator in that offense. He was I remember I was talking to Dean about this. When in the playoffs, when the Sixers were playing the Hawks and there was some late game moments, Tyrese Maxey was not backing down from being the facilitator in a close playoff series, which makes me think that he could potentially be a great player in the NBA. If he's not afraid as a young player to play as well as he can in the playoffs on a great team with high expectations, that's definitely something that impresses me. So if Tyrese Maxey can keep that shot up, he shot terrible in the summer league, but it's only 2 games. He shot 28%. He shot 28% from 3 on 7 attempts per game. So obviously he can do better in the NBA, but
I think Tyler's right.
Tyrese Maxey, Tyrese Maxey's kind of like Emmanuel Quickly. Like Tyrese Maxey and Emmanuel Quickly, I swear to God, they're the same player. Like they're really good 3-point shooters.
I agree.
But they're also like they're really.
I don't know why I was expecting his efficiency to be decent.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
he was really good.
Emmanuel Quickly. They're like the exact same.
This is crazy to me. He shot 28% of 3, but still put up 26 points per game.
That's
showing
like
that he's not.
Did pretty much.
Yeah, showing that
he's not really the sharpshooter. Like Tyrese Maxey isn't known for being
He can do more than one thing, which is impressive. Especially, but I think as a young player and a good team, he's going to be good.
Maxey's better at shooting. Really streaky. He's really streaky and he's really inconsistent. So like shooting a lot of shots, like his efficiency's bad. But I think if he works on being a good spot up 3-point shooter, like his efficiency will obviously go up.
I think his facilitating.
I think he's going to get a lot of minutes because I think like 100% Ben Simmons, he's not going to be on the Sixers next year. There's no chance. Like they're already shopping
now. Like I thought, I don't think he's traded because I thought it was very unlikely that the Sixers could find a way to trade him, but I think he will.
I think he's going to get traded to
even though the asking price is still like really high, like he's 100% getting traded. Like there's no way he's coming back to Sixers.
But I think Tyrese Maxey, I like him as a player. He showed that he can be a facilitator in big moments last year, which was impressive for a rookie. So yeah. Okay. Are there
any more players you would like to mention?
I think that
I would like to mention a player. Can I mention a player?
Yes.
I would like to mention a player who has gotten zero respect from the own team that drafted him. This guy has gotten 0 minutes. He's never been in the rotation. He only plays garbage time minutes. And I think he deserves more respect.
Can I guess?
I'm starting the free Bol Bol.
Okay.
If the Nuggets don't play him, I think he should request a trade. And I'm not even joking. Like I think he actually could be good because like he probably needs to get in the weight room a little bit more than he's doing right now, or maybe eat a few more carbs. But he can really shoot, and he's also like 7 feet, so he can block shots. He could be a good stretch 5. The Nuggets do not use him at all. And I know they just lost JaVale McGee, so maybe they'll use him now. But I think he could be a good role player for them. And I think if they don't play him Bobo at all, I think that he should request a trade because I think he has some untapped potential that we're not seeing because he's not getting any minutes at all.
And one last player I want to bring up is Aaron Nesmith from the Celtics. I mean, I think he had a little bit of a bigger role than Bol did on his team, but I still think that the Celtics didn't use him enough. In 25 minutes, he put 18 points per game up, which was pretty good. But I saw that he had one really, really good game in the summer league. I can't remember which one it was, but he had one really, really good game. But he was really streaky for the Celtics in this past season. And I remember watching some games and thinking like, oh, this guy has natural talent. I think it was in a regular season game. It was in like terrible. I mean, they were down by like 15. I think it was like the Nets or something. And he came in and he hit like 3 threes in a row, which like pushed it to, it was still not close, but I remember he hit some really nice shots in late game moments that didn't matter. So I thought that was good. I feel like he could potentially be a good player if they give him a bigger role. I think Romeo Langford's gone, even though he didn't get any minutes. But Kemba Walker's gone, obviously. That opens the door for a couple other players, even though they do have Dennis Schroeder. But I like Aaron Nesmith with the Celtics. Definitely think he can be a good player behind Jaylen Brown and
I'm
Jason
pretty sure
Tatum.
Dennis Schroeder's coming off the bench.
Who's starting?
Marcus Smart. They just paid him
Smart,
$70 million. Like he's definitely gonna play point guard.
But I have a good shot clock that we can do really quickly. Why don't we all give one rookie this upcoming season that we think will surprise people? Okay, my player is also on the Rockets like Jalen Green in this rookie class. It is Alperen Sengun. I feel like he's going to be a good player. He showed out in the summer league. He had some moments where he showed high basketball IQ, and he showed that he could potentially be a good shooter for a center. So because of that, because I think he could have a decently big role in this rookie season on the Rockets, I think that he's going to surprise a bunch of people in the regular season.
Andrew, you want to go next since I still have to think of someone?
Sure. Will someone else time me?
Yeah, I'll time you, Andrew. 24 seconds on the clock, starting now.
All right. So my choice for this shot clock segment is Chris Duarte. He was a lottery pick. I'm pretty sure, right? But he played really well in the summer league, 18 points, and I think the Pacers are gonna have a bounce back year with Rick Carlisle as their coach. And I think Chris Duarte is gonna play big minutes, and he's gonna be an important piece on the Pacers team. And I think if they make the playoffs, he's gonna play big minutes. So yeah.
All right, who's timing me?
Andrew is the host. Will time you.
All right.
Okay, Dean, ready?
Yep.
All right. 24 seconds on the clock. Start.
So my player is going to be Kai Jones, someone the Charlotte Hornets traded up for. He's a very lengthy and exciting center to watch because he's super explosive. And I think that him in the pick and roll with LaMelo Ball is just going to be so fun to watch because I think the Hornets are such a fun up-and-coming team, and they have so many flashy players on their team. I think that Kai Jones is going to definitely surprise a lot of people from being just so explosive that people actually think he's good.
All right. Campbell, you're up next. 24 seconds on the clock. Starting now.
For my surprising player, I'm going to say Jonathan Kuminga. Although he was the 7th overall pick, I think he's going to surprise a lot of people, sort of for the same reason as Dean. He's on a really flashy team with the Warriors, and he's a freak athlete. So I think there's going to be a lot of clips of him, Curry, doing crazy things, and I think that's just going to get him a lot of publicity. Not to say he's not going to be a good player, but I think it's just going to surprise a bunch of people, his athleticism and just incredible plays.
All right. Well, that'll do it for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure to tune into the episode next week.